With Hero 28 around the corner and the teaser is not being actually quite clear, a lot of people are coming up with their own theories on what hero it could possibly be, and pretty much today I'm going to pretty much tell you what my theory is. So with the first one we got, it was pretty much just a blank video with nothing really happening, just showing you pretty much a wall. So before we get into the teasers or the clips or anything that has been shared by Overwatch up on Twitter, I'm pretty much going to go through what my theory is and what hero I think it's going to be. So for me, I honestly think this hero is going to be Hammond. So let's break it down. So let's start off with this theory. So obviously we know that Hammond and Winston were up in Horizon Lunar Colony. Now, if you go onto the map, you'll be able to see on the board, you should see Specimen 8 not found. And beside Specimen 8, you should see Hammond. Now, if you go into his room, you see a toy on the ground, and this is a toy rocket with a piece of string, and on the other end of that string is a circular kind of spherical object. In Watchpoint Gibraltar, obviously that's where Winston is set up, you can see that there is a rocket inside the attacker's spawn. With this, we could nearly say that Winston was inside this little shuttle and Hammond was inside the sphere. Now the only upsetting thing about this is we don't really see any interaction with Winston in terms of talking about Hammond, so we're not entirely sure if they really did escape together or they kind of escaped separately. But from this, we'll take it that Hammond was inside that sphere that was attached to that little pod. So on the descent, you can pretty much say that Winston and Hammond ended up separating, because we don't really hear a lot about Winston, talking about Hammond and all that. Maybe Winston is under the impression that Hammond is no longer around, and since they've been separated, that Hammond sadly, just maybe didn't land or crash landed. We don't know, but what we can take from this is obviously the new footage that was teased yesterday or last night pretty much shows a ball. And now if we look closer in the picture, or if you manage to look at it yourself, you should be able to see by the equality posters Wrecking Ball. Apparently this is a machine or something to do with the Junker Queen in terms of gambling or betting. It's robot fights, I believe, or something like that. So what my theory is that hopefully backs it up that Hammond is with the Junker Queen, is that he crash landed somewhere in Australia. Junker Queen comes along and pretty much ends up taking this spherical object from Horizon Lunar Colony and turning it into a battle robot. Now, if you look at it closely, this is my little reasoning why I think it could be a battle robot. Maybe this rolling that we're seeing in the clip is a movement ability that this robot has, maybe called rollout or something. Because if you look at maybe one of those hatches, now if you zoom in on that Wrecking Ball image that we have by the equality posters, it shows that there's like a little jut out area, maybe where people or whoever is controlling this battle bot can, see out and see what's happening. So if we take this little section right here, maybe that is exactly where juts out, where Hammond can see out. So if you could imagine that this little piece is going to, after its rollout, shoot out and Hammond can see. Maybe it's like another Diva mech. Maybe it's like another form of Diva. Maybe not in the same concept and the way Diva works, but maybe this is kind of maybe another person inside like a mech or a battle robot, as Junker Queen likes to put it. Maybe this is another form of mech controlled hero we're going to get. Are we going to see maybe a face-off in terms of in-game Diva v Hammond? Obviously we actually aren't entirely sure even if this is guaranteed to be Hammond, but this is my theory and how Hammond could be related to all this, going along with what we've got so far. So pretty much to recap, what I think is Hammond escaped with Winston. Both of them got separated. Winston joined in Overwatch. Hammond ended up getting found by the Junker Queen. Junker Queen turns his little spherical space object into a battle robot. And yeah, pretty much that's how much we can really base it on. Expecting another teaser maybe to come out on Thursday. Probably going to be guaranteeing and telling us exactly what the hero is going to be, but for right now, this is exactly what I think. This is my That's what I'm expecting. Hopefully, I'm praying that I'm right. I kind of did put a little bit of theory into this, and I did a lot of thinking just to make sure that everything would be somewhat agreeable to some people. But yeah, pretty much this is my theory. And yeah, guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you do agree with my theory and you think that it's somewhat right and somewhat wrong, please let me know down below. And yeah, guys, see you inside for the next one. Bye bye.